yeah, so I ate at Burger King, and how much was my meal? I think it was like $18 for a burger and fries and a drink. 18 buckaroos. Hell yeah. That means if Jello and I were to get the same thing. Now, the burger was pretty big though, not gonna lie. I was actually shocked. They did get my order right, yes. So that would be like $36 if Jello and I got the same thing. That's cheap. In Germany, you would pay twice in euros. What? What? For Jello and I to eat out for fast food, like Wendy's or something, it's like almost $40. And I'm like, what? Like at that point we could go to a restaurant basically. Last time I was at McDonald's, I had fries which tasted like salt added with potato. Hello, Commander. Welcome in. Attendees, I joined at the right time. Yes, we're about to learn how fast food has cooked itself. Not in the good way. Not in the convenient way. When I go out, when I go to eat out, I usually get like 2 meals, and it runs me about 25 to $28. Damn. Which I guess evens out because how much is that? So if I take USD to Canadian, and you take, I'll take the highest amount. So 28 US dollars. Yeah, that's about $38 Canadian. Yep. It evens it out. I get 3 McChickens, and because of the deal, I pay like $7. What? What deal are you getting? Oh, is it on the McDonald's, like on the app? This is why I started eating out at Mexican restaurants, because I get like 2 meals for about the same as. Damn. Damn. Yeah, the barbecue place that we eat at, our local barbecue place, I've sent, I think, a couple of pictures of the wings and fries that I get. We both get a meal there for about $32, I think. And so, I mean, while it's about the same price as the fast food stuff, I'm like, this is so much better quality, though. So much better quality. Buy 2, get 1 for $1. It's not on the app? What? What the heck? The sesame chicken was delicious, but I got sick after eating it for like 5 days. Oh my gosh, what the hell? When I do Wendy's, I get the value meals on the app with a coupon on top. Otherwise, shit is too expensive anymore. Frig my life. Maybe I should start getting all the apps. Yeah, I forget that most places have a stupid app now. Chinese food is always. What Chinese food here, it depends. There's some places that have really good deals and you get like a lot of food. And then some are like really expensive. But yeah. So let's learn the Mick recession.
Fast food has never been good food, but it was a quick, easy, reliable, and cheap way to get a meal that appealed to people who were time poor or just, well, you know, actually poor. Mass layoffs, increasing economic uncertainty, deferred student loan payments kicking in, and spiking levels of consumer debt should be the perfect opportunity for these cheap offerings to bring in customers who don't have much money to spare, but still want to eat. For a long time, companies like McDonald's, Domino's, KFC, Taco Bell, and Wendy's were considered recession-proof, because even in the most dire of circumstances, people still need to eat, and the companies typically offered the best exchange rate of dollars to calories.
You know what, Domino, now, this is just here, though, I don't know, I never get Domino's pizza anymore. They used to be really good here anyways, But like now they're just so bad. I don't know if they've improved since I last had them a couple years ago, but it was bad. We literally got a pizza from them, and half the pizza was like a friggin' crust bubble. and yeah, I don't know. It was bad. I love Domino's Pizza. I used to get them all the time. Yeah. I discovered a place here called Fresh Slice or something, and I like them. But I actually really like the Costco pizza, and that is hella worth it. Wendy's nuts. KFC is so expensive. I haven't been in a while. Actually, that's a lie. We got the big thing of, like, the big tub of the, what do you call it? The popcorn chicken. And that was like, what was it? $12 or something? For just the big thing of popcorn chicken. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, freaking $12? Speedway has a really good pizza. We don't have a Speedway here. We don't have a Speedway. What else? I also like pizza. I like pizza. I saw a German meme about Domino's Pizza. A customer paid 32 euros for beer and garlic sauce. That's no pizza. Just what? How? My eyeball is itchy. How? Damn. That's expensive.
In the market.
Beer and garlic sauce.
That's changed. In a business move that can only be described as confusing, these brands have responded to cost-conscious, busy, and desperate consumers by becoming more expensive, slower, and less reliable. Unsurprisingly, sales across the industry have plummeted at a time when they should be outperforming.
Well, yeah.
It would almost be comical if they weren't collectively.
Yeah, because people don't want to pay freaking $20 for a McDonald's burger and fries. Wow.
Some of the largest employers in the country. However, the mid-recession has been caused by more than some management missteps. It's a clear sign of some much bigger problems in the wider economy.
You know, it's supposed to be cheap, quick, and an easy option.
I personally stopped eating out at fast food for me because it got so expensive it wasn't worth the money.
McDonald's posted its biggest US sales decline in nearly 5 years.
Good. Good.
Sandwich, it's $3.
Because there's no way that this friggin' fast food shit should be costing the same price as when you go to a damn restaurant. It's disgusting. A Big Mac, medium fries, and small Coke is $10 here. What? What? That's cheap. That is so cheap. That would be like $18 here. You know what else I can get for $10? A freaking 60-centimeter doner kebab. Yum. Yum. The chicken tenders meal they just released, regular size meal, is like $9. Oh my god. I got puke. I'm going to puke.
Almost $4.
It's also
stupid
what traditionally had
expensive.
become the cheaper option, but for many, that's no longer the case.
And the freaking one taco from Taco Bell, like those flimsy, friggin' flaccid tacos that they sell, is like $3 for one. Or more. I don't know. I think it's $3, but it could be more.
Okay, so before we get into the fast
For
food
one
industry, is the
taco,
canary in the
and you
coal
can
mine for much
you can shove the whole thing in your freaking mouth in one bite if you wanted to.
larger structural economic problems, there is something more important you need to understand. Fast food locations used to be fun. Pizza Huts looked like actual huts. Chuck E. Cheese had rodent-themed decor, and McDonald's was full of bright colors, escaped convicts, and nightmare-inducing clowns.
So true.
That's clearly changed, and now almost any fast
Now
food
everything's boring and modern and looks like a friggin' box.
store you go into is the same generic style of
Literally a
nondescript,
box.
boxy modern commercial building. This has happened for a few reasons that are each very revealing
Oh
about
my
the broader
God.
direction the industry has gone. The first reason is that children have become less important to overall business demand. In the good old days, companies would advertise directly to children in the hopes they would effectively become little sales representatives and
What
throw a
the
fit
hell?
until their parents gave in and took them to get some deep-fried slop. Regulations around advertising to children and a general cultural shift away from feeding children too much unhealthy food means that companies can't rely on this market as much anymore, though. According
Damn, that commercial with the freaking McDonald's turning into a robot was awesome. That was awesome. While you talk about food, no, eat this pizza, please. I want pizza. I just had pizza on Friday night, but I want more pizza now. Going to McDonald's was an adventure when I was little. Yeah, like for real. For real. We'd go to McDonald's and we'd be there for like a couple of hours because we would play in the friggin' crawl space, the play area. Yeah, the playgrounds, the McDonald's playgrounds.
to a YouGov
It was
survey,
like a whole
Americans
outing.
between the ages of 18 and 34 are now the largest consumers of fast food, with 42% reporting they consume it several times a week. Demographic shifts means this age group is now less likely to have children of their own, so the extra money and maintenance on custom storefronts isn't worth it since a ball pit is unlikely to appeal to most 20-somethings. No shame though.
Hey, yeah. I would play in a ball pit. What do you mean? What do you mean I would play in a ball pit? Frick my life. I love a ball pit, yeah. Why? Just because we're adults? When you turn into adult, you suddenly can't do anything fun anymore? Make an adult ball pit. Let's go. Let's go.
Shifting consumer trends are one thing, but the bigger reason is that restaurant locations have become far less important and much more interchangeable. According to market data from the consulting firm McKinsey & Company, people are now almost twice as likely to order food through a delivery service like Uber Eats or DoorDash than they are to physically sit in a fast food restaurant and eat their meal.
True. Uber Eats has some good deals. Usually they have a lot of like buy one, get one. I think one of my friends even had a birthday party at McDonald's. Yeah, I did too. I had a lot of McDonald's birthday parties. They were awesome.
Food locations are increasingly just becoming distribution centers for Postmate drivers, so maybe we shouldn't be surprised that they have started looking like Amazon warehouses.
Excuse me?
Anyway, alongside ingredients and staffing,
What the hell?
the real
Where was
estate
that?
these restaurants sit atop is simultaneously the largest expense in most locations, as well as being a significant asset. As the story goes, Ray Kroc, the man responsible for scaling McDonald's into a global fast food empire, figured out that he wasn't in the burger business. He was in the real estate business. To this day, for the majority of fast food locations, most of the money is made by the commercial real estate. The restaurant that sits on the land is basically just a tenant producing cash flows. It doesn't matter if the tenant is a Wendy's or a McDonald's. So stores have become more uniform to lower the cost of construction and the risk of having an unusual building that nobody else wants to rent if a franchise moves out. So if you want to know why fast food restaurants look so boring these days, you can blame real estate speculation, shifting socioeconomics, and middleman technology. Something of a recurring theme on this channel. Now anyway, this whole game only works if these businesses still bring in cash, and to do that they need to move some hamburgers. The trouble is, that's getting really hard. Fast food prices have increased significantly beyond inflation. According to data collected from Finance Buzz, the average McDonald's menu item is now twice as expensive as it was 10 years ago.
Wow. Oh my god, look at the price increases. What the hell? Okay, Dread, have a good dinner. Means we're getting lazier, McDonald's and KFC birthday parties? Hell yeah. I don't know if I would say people are getting lazier. I'm more inclined to say, from my own experience, that people are just busier. So, cause like, if you're at work, I don't know. When I worked from home, I actually cooked a lot. I started to cook more at home a lot. But when I'm working full time and I have to go into the office, basically like all day, and then I get home and then I stream. Well, I don't have time. I don't have like much cook time. So a lot of the time it's very tempting to just be like, oh, well, I'll just grab something quick on the way home to eat. So, I mean, it could be a laziness thing, but I think it's more of a people are working more hours and stuff these days and don't have time to cook. I still remember when normal burgers in McDonald's cost like 25 cents and now it's like $4. Yeah. For real. For real. They used to be cheap. Old enough to remember the dollar menu for four cheeseburgers for about $4.50. Damn. So I usually cook a big batch of something on Sunday and just eat that over the week. Yeah, Teagle, I try to do that as well. I'll try to cook something big on Sunday, and then bring it throughout the week. Even breakfast, I try to do the same thing. I've been making overnight oats lately. Can't believe I have to wait 30 minutes before making poutine. People now need bigger food even faster. McDonald's McChicken sandwich was $1 in 2014? What? No way. In 2014 it was $1? Now it's $2.99. Almost a 200% increase. Wow. McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese meal was $5. Are you actually shitting me? Like, are you actually kidding me? Only in 2014? What? Like that's 10 years ago, but that's also not that long ago. $11.99 now. 122% increase. Wow. Wow. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And why? Why? You can't tell me that their prices increased that much to make the food. The quarter pounder meal makes me sad. My breakfasts are always a little egg sandwich that I make every morning while I get dressed and pack my lunch for work. Ooh, yummy. Yeah, breakfast doesn't take long to make. Breakfast doesn't take. You just like throw the egg in the pan and it's done in like 2 minutes. When I do get McDonald's, I like to get the Hack Mac. 2 double cheeseburgers with mac sauce. Take off the top bun of one and put the other burger on top. What the heck? I like the Big Mac. Told you the Big Mac was like $6. Oh my. That's like, wow. Yeah, actually, even less because it's the McDonald's Big Mac used to be $3.99. Actually, it only went up by $2, so I guess that's not that bad. My question is, who the hell still orders the Filet-O-Fish at McDonald's? I don't even think I've ever had it. I'll get it occasionally. I don't think I've ever had the Filet-O-Fish. But I've heard that apparently it's popular. I had it, but it was ages ago. Yeah, the Big Mac is not the whole meal, it's just the burger. Come on, 30 seconds of ads left. Let's go. The fish is literally all I get when I go. What? Teagle gets the Filet-O-Fish all the time. Oh my gosh. I have McDonald's almost never. And when I do, it's always usually the Big Mac. I like me the Big Mac. And their fries are delicious. I never used to like Burger King because I was thinking back to this weekend on when did I have it? Friday or something? But the burger I had there wasn't bad. Actually. Maybe they've gotten better. But I remember not liking Burger King that much before. Okay. Culver's is the best. Oh, we don't have a Culver's. We don't have a Culver's here. Been a long time since I've had Burger King. Yeah, I had it this weekend, and God, I think the last time I had it before that was probably a couple of years ago. To be honest. Okay, ads are over. Let's go.
This trend is partially because fast food items used to be artificially
White
cheaper than they
Castle.
should have been.
They were
When
pretty
people
good.
would order in-store, there was more opportunity to upsell them to larger meal sizes and tack on higher margin extras like desserts and drinks, so they could make their staple menu items cheaper to
What the
attract
hell?
customers. Now, ingredients and rent has become more expensive, and on top of that,
Wendy's
restaurants need to give a significant portion of their top-line revenue to delivery companies. To maintain their margins, they had to raise prices, and their pivot to more premium branding was a way to justify this change without acknowledging that getting food hand-delivered is a luxury with inherent increased costs.
That
There's-
looks like the chalupa, which is my favorite taco at Taco Bell.
Food companies aren't allowed to directly offer lower prices in their stores than they do via delivery apps, even though they don't have the additional expenses. So they have had to become sneaky and offer various meal deals so that in-restaurant customers can get better deals if they are willing to navigate through deals via their own apps and pick out in-store meal combinations. If you are a savvy Mick connoisseur and you are willing to sit down, do the math, and make the most of various deals on the company-run fast food apps and in-store offers, you can end up paying half as much for the same food as someone who just turned their brain off and poked at the cheeseburger pictures they wanted on their delivery app of choice.
Oh
This
my
has made
god.
shopping for fast food increasingly confusing and time-consuming, which is exactly the opposite reason why customers go to these companies in the first place. Now, the companies are not exactly blameless victims in this trend. Bloated and confusing menus and premium offerings had the potential to extract the most possible money out of the widest spectrum of customers, from the rich and lazy to the poor and savvy. But now the market has turned against them, and this clever little business model could be their undoing. So it's time to learn how many works to find out if fast food companies have cooked themselves. This week's video is sponsored by Storyblocks.
I
If
don't
you've ever
know.
had to piece together stock footage clip
Probably.
by clip, you know how fast those costs can add up, and how frustrating it is to track
In-N-Out
down
is the
exactly
king of
what
fast
you
food,
need.
but they only on the West
Storyblocks takes
Coast.
that stress
In-N-Out
out of
was
the process
okay.
by
We tried
offering
it in
unlimited
Vegas.
downloads of high-quality stock video, music, sound effects, templates,
Me doing a
and more,
self-hydrate.
all for one predictable subscription price. We've used it for everything, from last-minute B-roll to motion graphics to save us hours in post.
I only ate
Having
the
everything
long
in one
barbecue
place just makes our
with
workflow faster and
rings.
lets us stay
What the
focused on
frick? Hold on one
creative.
second.
Plus, all of the content is royalty-free with clear-cut licensing, so we never have to worry about copyright claims
okay.
or surprises later on. If you're a creator looking to level up your
I
production
hate
without
McDonald's
blowing your
long
budget,
waiting time for
Storyblocks
food that is very
seriously a game
expensive.
changer. To get
It will
started
not
with
fill my
unlimited
stomach.
stock media downloads
True.
at one
Yeah,
set
'cause it's
price,
ultra
head over to
processed.
storyblocks.com/howmanyworks or click the link in the description.
It's ultra processed.
So
That's
it's
why.
not all bad news. As Q1 earnings have been revealed, some brands have actually increased their sales. Taco Bell, which is owned by the conglomerate Yum Brands, increased average store sales by 9% compared to last year. This success has been
Gross.
attributed almost exclusively to the company's Lux boxes, which have become what fast food used to be: a large quantity of food with a lot of calories for not very much money. Even though the industry declined overall, Taco Bell grew
lunchbox?
because it attracted customers priced out of other options. The company's own CEO boasted on the earnings call that the company's performance was thanks to massive wins with low-income consumers. Yum Brands, which
Wow.
also owns chains like KFC and Pizza Hut, does not invest heavily into real estate like McDonald's, and instead rents most of their locations from third-party commercial landlords. This means that when picking a location to open a store, they don't have to worry about the underlying fundamentals of the area and the real estate market. They can focus exclusively on what locations are going to bring in the most foot traffic. This also lets brands operate in locations that would otherwise be considered undesirable by real estate investors with a side hustle in burgers. Across the rest of
Okay.
the industry, though, fast food as a whole has largely lost ground to people just choosing to cook from home. I know this isn't exactly groundbreaking news to you watching, but food has become kind of expensive. The key demographics
Yeah, no
of young
shit.
workers that consume fast food are the same people who are getting laid
Saying kind of expensive is an understatement.
off first, and statistically have less savings to get them through periods of reduced income. These people also on average have more debt to manage outside of a residential mortgage. By now, you have probably seen the memes about being able to split your burrito purchase into 4 easy installments using Klarna through DoorDash. Now, this has probably been blown out of proportion, as Klarna is just a payment processor that a
Oh
lot
my
of people
God.
are more comfortable with over a credit card or a bank transfer. But it's a
Why would you pay with Klarna for a frickin' for food? For fast food? What? That's mind-boggling to me. I will have this Taco Bell now, and I will I will pay it over the next 3 weeks. What? Oh my
Humorous
gosh.
way to acknowledge the more serious issue that people are going into debt just to
gosh.
keep up, and new platforms like this are making it easier than ever to do. Klarna and similar services now represent an extra $700 billion worth of consumer debt that isn't being officially recorded, on top of over $1 trillion in credit card debt and student debt, which people now actually need to pay again. So people are short on cash, but these companies are also losing another group of consumers. Fast food has typically been popular with people who just didn't have that much time after working a long shift and then spending an hour or more commuting. But even that has become less of a selling point. Fast food is not that fast anymore. Average wait times have increased significantly, which means unless you are willing to pay the premium to get food delivered, it's almost faster to cook some basic food for yourself.
Look at Chick-fil-A!
Now, fast food getting slower has happened for 2 reasons. The first is that larger menus make it harder to prepare food in advance and keep it ready to be instantly handed over.
True.
Now, this also means that food is prepared to order, which is nice. Apart from the second reason, fast food turnover is higher than it's ever been, and overall staff care is low because people simply do not value these jobs as much.
Because you're getting paid you're not getting paid a livable wage, and these jobs are so stressful. They're so stressful. I've seen people paying €2 for snacks with credit cards. Oh gosh. Honestly, like, I get it. Like, if you're really in a really bad spot, I can see it. I haven't put that little on credit card. Usually, like, if I do put something like that on credit card, it's just like whatever. And then I'll just go in immediately to my bank and pay it off. But I mean, yeah, I've been in spots before, and even like now, where we have to put like $20 on the credit card because we don't have it from our spending that has to go to like groceries and whatever. You'll own nothing and be happy. Just order a pizza. At that point, you're getting paid pennies to be screamed at by Karens. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's why there's a high turnover. And they treat them like absolute shit.
Much as they once did. Now, expecting people to go above and beyond for a minimum wage job at a fast food franchise is clearly a bit dumb. But it's getting harder to find people that want to do the job at all. Once again, fast food companies have kind of been outmaneuvered by the delivery apps. Minimum wage workers now have more options, and delivering food and answering to an algorithm is more attractive to a lot of people than cooking food and answering to the power-tripping shift manager. Of course, the obvious solution is to just pay people more, and some companies are basically being forced to do that. But then they either need to raise their prices even further or cut into already razor-thin margins. These companies are investing a lot.
I hate that stupid shit. If they pay their employees more, that does not mean they have to raise the prices on their menu. That's absolute bullshit. It's bullshit because they're probably selling their stuff already marked up at like a 300% profit. There's no way. No way. I'm pretty sure it's been proven somewhere that it's absolute bullshit when companies are like, oh, but if we pay people more, then we have to raise our prices. Yeah, it means they can't buy another yacht. Exactly. Exactly. They aren't razor thin margins. They make billions a year. Yeah. Labor is a small percentage of their corns. Corns. Yeah, corns. But yeah, but money. Exactly. No, it just means that, oh my god, you mean I can't make $5 million a year? I have to make only $2 million a year so that I can pay everyone better? Oh no, but then I can't buy my extra yacht or my extra vacation house. How will I ever live? I will just die and rot away. It's fine, just bury me in the ground. It's okay. It means the manager can't buy another Lamborghini. Oh my gosh. Whatever will they do?
Money into automated kitchens to cut down on staff before they get too much negotiating power. But that technology is still in its infancy, and these brands have shareholders to answer to now. If they raise prices anymore, they will also be competing directly with slightly more upmarket fast casual dining, and even local independent restaurants, which are getting harder to differentiate from. longer wait times and a slightly more expensive
Ooh.
menu is expected at these stores. For people who want convenience and are willing to pay a few extra dollars for it, they can just order from these more upmarket restaurants off the apps as well. People who aren't worried about paying a $5 delivery fee and 20% delivery tip also aren't going to think twice about paying a few extra dollars to get chef-prepared food over a barely assembled McChicken. For everybody else, the struggles of the
Exactly.
cheapest restaurant is a sign of a pretty bleak financial reality. Most of the CEOs that presented poor earnings for this quarter acknowledged tough economic times for people choosing to eat takeaway less, concluding that cooking from home has become much more popular for people looking to make their money go further. Now, individually, this is a fantastic trend. Unless you are an extremely high-income earner or working an equally extreme schedule, cooking for yourself is one of the best things you can do to improve your health and personal finances. So, if you can do it, you probably should do it. But for society at large, when fast food becomes a luxury, that should raise a few alarm bells. Grocery store food has also become much more expensive, and more people than ever now work multiple full-time jobs. So finding the time amongst that schedule to also prepare food is hard.
Oh my god, is this not what I just said? That's what I said at the beginning. It's not laziness. It's like we're busier. We're literally busier. Freaking working our ass off more for less. Even worse are the fake cost rebates, raising the prices, going down, but in the end it costs more than before. But human brain just sees 20% lower. Yeah. This is why gas station food has been more enticing to me. Yeah, because like you're working all day, you're exhausted when you get home. You really want to sit there now and have to cook for like 30 minutes or longer? No. You want to freaking just relax. So you just grab something on the way home. Bam, done. Welcome back, Itsuya.
That's also ignoring that according to US Census data, around 9% of households below the federal poverty level don't have an adequately functioning kitchen at all. Yes, a lot of people are choosing to cook from home instead of ordering some Kentucky Fried Carbs, and that's good, but a lot of people are just skipping meals altogether, and that's bad. A survey conducted by Credit Karma found that more than a quarter of respondents admitted to skipping meals because of rising grocery costs. This survey was also conducted on people who were using a credit score tracking service, so the population sample is probably doing better than the true average. Now, this has the potential to cause a feedback loop.
I'm like, well, if I don't eat breakfast, then I don't have to buy extra groceries for breakfast. So,
in low-income communities, because fast food is one of the country's largest employers. Outside of Walmart, Yum Brands and McDonald's are the second and third largest employers of American workers. They may not be the most desirable jobs in the world, but they provide some income to millions of people. If restaurants start closing down, that could quickly become a huge unemployment problem amongst people with the least financial security to begin with. Now, the story is not much better for these companies outside of America either. Most people around the world are struggling with the same financial realities of increased living costs and economic uncertainty. On top of that, America isn't exactly the most popular kid on the block at the moment. Brands like
nope, they're not. Yum is KFC and Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. Oh, okay. Welcoming Kadath. How are you doing?
McDonald's, KFC, and Starbucks are struggling with a general anti-American sentiment across most of their markets as people are choosing to support their local chains over the unashamedly American businesses. According to McDonald's own market survey, they found an increase in people in various markets saying they're going to be cutting back on purchases of American brands. Now, companies delivering poor financial news to their shareholders always comes armed with some excuses, but this is clearly a major shift in consumer behavior right when they can least afford it. Now, there is a growing group of consumers that unfortunately fast food isn't particularly good at taking advantage of. Go and watch this video next to find out how some Americans got so good at buying shit. And make sure to like and subscribe to keep on learning how money works.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Fast food is just so expensive. And bad. And like I'm bad for it too though. Like I want to try and cut down on how much we eat out. That's bad. Well, a lot of the times I'll usually stop in the morning at Tim Hortons and I'll get like their omelet egg bites. What else do I get? Usually I'll get the omelet egg bites and I think that's it. Which is not, like... I know it's just egg bites, but still. Like, so if you consider the egg bites are, like, $5... So, let me do a quick calculation. So, if I spend $5 a day on egg bites, that's $25 a week. So, that's almost like $100. Like $100 a month to get 2 egg bites from Tim Hortons every morning. Yeah. Whoa. Oh my god. $1,200 a year on egg bites. When instead I could just make them at home. Holy frick. You know how many friggin' egg bites I could make? With $1,200 if I bought eggs from the grocery store? Holy shit.